But what the most horrible moment was when I saw my good friends that we play together football on the street. Good friends, they cry, you are Jews, will not coming back, you will go from the chimney up.
Joined by Eylon Levy.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for being here with us.
EylON the Record.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming to this Zikaron Basalon event here at my home in Tel Aviv. Special thanks to the members of the Foreign Diplomatic Corps who have joined us tonight. On this International Holocaust Remembrance Day, we're privileged to hear the testimony of Dan Auerbach, a survivor of the Theresienstadt ghetto, who will share his extraordinary and unlikely story of survival against the odds during the Holocaust. After Mr. Auerbach finishes his testimony, we'll open up to some questions. For many years, we believed that Holocaust education matters because of a familiar warning that those who forget the past are doomed to repeat it. And we believed that if we kept the Nazi genocide of 6 million Jews fresh in the world's collective memory, we would save societies from slipping into the old destructive dynamic of scapegoating and ultimately extermination. And yes, 80 years after the Holocaust, it's still shocking the level of ignorance about the Holocaust around the world. Take Ireland, which was famously neutral during the Holocaust. A new survey by the Confronts on Jewish Material Claims against Germany just now found that half of adults in Ireland do not know that 6 million Jews were murdered in the Holocaust. And a staggering 28% of Irish 18 to 29-year-olds believe that the Holocaust is either a myth or has been grossly exaggerated. And that ignorance is not an accident. There are powerful political forces at work today that seek to obscure the singular evil of the Holocaust. On the far right, we have outright Holocaust denial, voices like the white supremacist Nick Fuentes, who says that Hitler was really fucking cool. And that thinking has gone mainstream. I remember an episode of the Joe Rogan Experience recently in which the guest said that Nick Fuentes was a Holocaust denier, and Joe Rogan pushed back and said, is he denying the Holocaust or is he just debating the numbers? And that, of course, is Holocaust denial. And the same pattern happens on the far left. Figures like Mehdi Hassan repeating the absurd claim that more journalists have been killed in Gaza than the First World War, the Second World War, the Korean War, and every subsequent war combined. That is, of course, a preposterous allegation that erases the at least 1,400 Jews murdered Jewish journalists murdered during the Holocaust. And that figure is an undercount, and that too is an example of Holocaust denial. But the slide into Holocaust forgetfulness and denial is even darker. Because according to the Holocaust Memorial Day Foundation, the number of British schools commemorating the Holocaust, commemorating International Holocaust Remembrance Day, has fallen by nearly 60% in the last 2 years. Holocaust education had actually been improving. Just 3 years ago, around half of all schools in the half of all secondary schools in the UK, about 2,000, were commemorating International Holocaust Memorial Day. And then 2 years ago came the deadliest massacre of Jews since the Holocaust, the October 7 massacre, an act of genocide right here on the soil of Israel. And suddenly, participation in Holocaust commemoration in Britain collapsed, down to just 854 schools last year, and who knows how many this year. Why would an act of anti-Semitic genocidal violence reduce commemorations of the Holocaust? Because October 7th was not only the opening shot of a regional war against Israel, it was also the opening shot of a global war against the Jews. And a central front in that war is a disinformation war. And in that war, Israel's campaign against Hamas has been falsely labeled a genocide. That label has become axiomatic in vast swathes of the Western world. And so for many teachers, apparently in Britain, Holocaust education has just become too controversial. Because if they teach about one Holocaust, one genocide, their students expect them to mention another one, even if that other genocide never happened, and even if it was alleged to have been perpetrated by the victims of the first one. That is the purpose of the anti-Zionist genocide libel right now. It says if the Jews are committing a Holocaust, maybe the original one was justified, maybe Hitler knew what he was doing, and if he didn't finish the job, maybe someone else should. Because there are many people around the region and the world who want us dead, and they want the moral license to feel righteous in doing so. The purpose of calling us genocidal is to make killing us a moral act. So what the last 2 years have shown is that the problem is no longer ignorance of the Holocaust, it's Holocaust inversion. An attempt to minimize the Holocaust, to shrink the numbers, mitigate the horrors, dismiss it as an exaggeration, while simultaneously inflating invented crimes attributed to the Jewish state in order to place the genocide of the Jewish people on an equal footing with a fabricated one. Modern antisemitism claims that Jews are genocidal and must therefore be lying about their own genocide for their own political benefit, which is the perpetration of another genocide. It's a logic that casts Jews as being even more evil than the Nazis, because the Nazis couldn't have known any better, and the Jews really should after what happened to them. And that's why it's especially important to bear witness to the testimony of our brave survivors who lived through a real genocide, and especially to the survivors who chose to build their home here in Israel. Because hearing these testimonies will help to strengthen our resolve to stand up against those who want to flip the Holocaust against us because they think it's unfinished. So thank you, Mr. Auerbach, for coming here to share your testimony with us. I know it's never easy, so thank you in advance on behalf of all of us. And just before I hand over, I want to my friend Melissa Weiss from A Jewish Insider to say a few words about why this year's Holocaust Memorial Day lands a little bit more personally than most years.
Thank you so much, Eylon. If you had told me even 3 months ago that I would be sitting here speaking at a Holocaust Remembrance event, I would have asked why. Because as far as I knew, up until a few months ago, I'd had no connection, no familial connection to the Holocaust. My great-grandfather, Abe Solomon, left Lithuania in the early 1900s. He left alone, he was 14 years old, and he settled in America where he knew nobody. And he built a life for himself, had 3 sons, numerous grandchildren, and countless great-grandchildren. And he didn't really talk about what life was like back in the old country. So as far as we knew, his family had all left. Brothers to South Africa, parents had passed. And we didn't really think about it, and we didn't really ask questions because we didn't know what to ask. Then a few months ago, I was looking online, I was reading the news, and I read an article that Yad Vashem had just identified 5 million victims of the Holocaust by name. And I thought, Yad Vashem is a very robust database. They've got all of the information that is out there. I don't know very much, but my gut was telling me, give it a shot. Now, during the coronavirus pandemic, I had connected with my great-grandfather's long-lost nieces in South Africa. They also didn't know very much, but they knew a little bit, and they had some documents. And one of the documents that they had was a scrap of paper with the addresses of my great-grandfather and some of his siblings, 2 in South Africa, 1 in New York, and 1 in Lithuania. Using that scrap of paper, I put in what I had to the database, and within 10 seconds, 6 names pop up. It was my great-grandfather's mother, his sister, 2 brothers, a brother-in-law, and his nephew. They were all killed on the same day in the same place. From there, it took about 30 seconds to Google what had happened next, and I learned that there had been, that was the day that all of the Jews, all the 2,000 Jews in that village were taken out of town. They were taken to pits and they were shot. And that was the end of that family's story, with the exception of one woman in her early 20s who somehow escaped to Tajikistan before making her way to Israel, where she moved to Haifa, got married, raised a family. And she's the one who provided the testimony to Yad Vashem in 2007, which is the only reason we know any of this today. Now, I was shocked when I read this, and so was everyone in my family, my mother, my uncle, my cousins. None of us knew. And the one question came up over and over and over again. Did he know? Did my great-grandfather know? Did he know that his entire family who stayed in Europe had been killed? Did he wonder, because he lived 20 years after the Holocaust, did he wonder what had happened to them if he didn't know? Did he know and keep it to himself, or did he just sit there wondering and wondering and wondering? And today there's nobody to ask. The last person who could have conceivably known anything died a year ago. And so now I will spend the rest of my life chasing my family's ghosts as I wonder what happened to them. And that's why being here today with you, Mr. Auerbach, is so important, because we have this chance to ask the questions we never got to ask our own families, and to have the hard conversations that we never got to have ourselves. So thank you, Eylon, for having us here today. Thank you, Mr. Auerbach, for sharing your story.
You will translate my English to English. So my name is Dan Auerbach, as you know. I born in Czechoslovakia in these days. Today it is Slovakia in a town named Žilina. I will mention this town, so please remember it. So my mother language is not exactly Oxford English. I learned English in university, but when I finished, I didn't speak English. So please, patience. And if you will not understand, so Shiri will explain it. Okay? So beginning, we begin. Yeah, or something. There are some words that we use them, and it is not English. For example, transport. You know what it is, transport, not?
Okay.
It's a beauty matter.
Okay.
Okay. So we will begin. The transport began just in 42. They come, the people go to the railway, and they know that they are going to help to the German soldiers that are fighting against Russia. They will cook for them and they will help. In 44, two boys, one 16 old and the second 22, they succeeded to run away from Auschwitz. Run away, barchu, run away. And they crossed also Žilina to town. They, in Auschwitz, worked very close to the gas camera and to the crematoriums, and they'll come to Žilina and told what is the truth, what is going in Auschwitz, and where are going the transports. So we know exactly what happened. My first touch with Holocaust, if you want to, that was middle in the night. I slept with my parents. It was used in these times that the children are sleeping with the parents. So I slept with parents.
How old were you? How old were you?
Zawsze człowiek. Good that I didn't drink whiskey. What I will tell you now, that not about Holocaust, because maybe you know better than I will tell you what happened to a boy 8, 9 years old in these times. How he over this. So as I told you, the first touch was the light in the middle of night. My mother is crying and bocha, is crying, and my father is standing in the door, and two guardists, you know what it is? Two policemen, but the policemen from National Fascistic Party stand. My father has a small something with the toothbrush, and they take my father. So I remained with my mother. In the 31 August 44, 1944, the German soldiers come to Žilina. They crossed the Slovakia on the way to the Rush, the front, Mizrach, the east of the east side. About not much, 2 days later, they told to everybody that all the Jews that remain in this town, Žilina, have to go to the school about 3 days to the school, and they will go to transport to Auschwitz. We have a girl that was by us, live with us. She cleaned and she cooked, and my parents paid for her education. She was apart from us. And in this moment that it was known that we have to go to the school, he told us, you know what, come to us, of course for money, come to us 2-3 nights after that will be over and come back to Žilina. It was a good idea. So in the night, my mother and her sister and brother and the son of the sister of my mother crossed a forest. The village was was close to Žilina, and we arrived to a house where the parents was living. The poverty of this house is, you cannot believe it. The house stands on ground, no parqueting.
No wooden floors.
It's out for you. On the ground, you see a small holes that the children play in the rooms with julot. So the house have kitchen and a living room. So the day we stay in the living room, and at the evening come to the father and told, look, we are very sorry, but you have to leave, because the neighbors are just talking that I am hiding Jews, and they are patrols from German and from Slovakian police, and they can kill us. So we leave the house and come back to Žilina. After 2-3 days, we went to the school, we slept the night, and we go to the railway station, in where was waiting for us the rakebet, no?
Train.
The
train.
The train with the wagons, yeah. And as we crossed the town, all the town was by us, and they cry of us, and they threw on us eggs and potatoes, and sometimes also a stone. I got a stone. But what the most horrible moment was when I saw my good friends that we play together football on the street. In this time, it was like this. We make trips together. Good friends. They cry, you are Jews, you will not coming back. You will go from the Chimney up and something that, okay, it was very hard. Boys like Spada, Schreiber, was my friends, and so we arrived to the railway station. We go up to the, איך אמרת שזה בהימות?
Kettle cars.
איך?
Kettle.
Kettle?
כן.
This was kettle
Kettle
wagons.
cars,
You know what I mean. We enter inside. The door was closed. You could hear the Schiebetüre, yeah, the door how it's closing. You heard the bariach.
The lock.
They locked, and we was on the way. About not much, 4 hours, we arrived to a town named Ilava. Ilava is a small town, and by the town was a very big castle. And the castle, the Slovakian, or maybe Czechoslovakian, they changed it to the main prison of the most criminals, most dangerous criminals, that made it that every room was for one person. We went out and take a room, a place. My mother, her sister, her brother, and 2 boys, I and my
Cousin.
And they told us, never mind, 2-3 days maximum you will be here. The 2-3 days come to be 3, even 5 weeks. And in the end of the 5 weeks, about 3 weeks, everybody knocked the policeman on the door and told, kaput, kaput. Kaput, it was mean if somebody dead. And we can listen how they take the dead out.
The bodies.
Old people that cannot stand it. Because not only we were so together 5 in after about 5 months, something like that,
5 months or
we,
weeks?
בבקשה?
5 חודשים?
5 חודשים, 5 months.
בתוך הסל הזה?
בתוך it was a circle who will sleep on the floor because after 5 weeks we have to go to a train. We enter the train, and not far so much, we, after 5 hours, we come to Sereď. Sereď, it was a concentration camp, and the purpose of the camp was to assemble Jews and send them to Auschwitz. This was the purpose. For this is Kayam. It was for this. It was a night. We arrived to the Sereď, and it was an army camp, so it was there, Migrash Mizdarim. You know what it is in English? Where the soldiers make tam taram tatam.
March.
March. And we was on this place, every family with the baggage around, and they become to beat. They was their SS, very cruel people. I didn't see it. I cannot tell you, but I heard it. I heard the people are crying. And you have to understand that a small boy, when see a small boy crying, okay. But if a small boy heard a elder man cry, it is very hard, very hard. And suddenly I heard Hilfe, Hilfe. Hilfe in German language, it is help. When I heard him, I know exactly, it was my best friend. I didn't know that he stand by me. I look at him, Milan, why are you crying? Look. And I see his father on the ground without moving. He didn't move. His father, Glixman, was very, very honorable man in Žilina, not only Žilina. He was the president of Tatra Bank, very big bank in these times. And he got with us. I didn't know about this. After some minutes, I do not know how much, they come with Alunka, with take him, and also Milan and his mother. More I didn't see him. They disappeared. After some moments, somebody take me and run with me, and I make what is going. This was my father. He was just in Sereď. What happened? My father was engineer, electro-engineer, engineer for electric. So he was responsible in Sereď on all what is going with light and so. And he was there, and he knows that we are coming, so he take me, and I, and my mother, and two brother and sister, yeah, we go together, go to a room, and stay there. In Sereď, nothing special happened. There was about two boys that we play together. We steal things from the there was they did there for the German army the pouches. You know what I mean as pouches? And we steal ganavnu.
Stole.
Huh?
We stole.
Stole some small things, and with this we play. That's what we have. Now how it works? How it worked? It worked like that they told apple, apple, cry apple, apple. So all the people go out, everybody. And we stayed in line, 5 people in every line. Five. You know what I mean, yeah? You understand? Yeah. And there was a railway, they come, we see it, and we didn't know exactly what line would go to the train. And we stayed there and waiting. And my mother told to the sister, Ali, you know what? Go to the other line. Go, we will separate. Maybe that some people leave, still will
Survive.
will
מה?
ינצל.
Survive.
Eh?
Survive.
Survive. That somebody will survive. What won the Goral,
Fake.
huh? The line with the sister and brother and the boy go to the transport. We never see them more, no more. Now, a little story that is not exactly connected, but after 70 years, maybe, my mother in this time told why I'll tell to Ali was the sister, to go to the other line. Why I did it? Who knows? Who could answer? After 70 years, my mother got a stroke, and I sent her to Bad Harzfeld. You know where it is? You heard about it? The Gedera. There is a place in Gedera. Gedera is near to here. There are coming there people that the doctors just cannot help him. They are the people that are going to the better life. And my mother was there, and 3 times every day I come to because she wanted to eat only from me. And at evening I was there, and she told me why I told to Ali, go to the second life. Why I did it. 2 days she died.
passed.
It was all her life she think about the mistake. Okay, it's come a day, our line go to the train. And we enter to the wagons, wagons, yes, you know. We enter to the wagons. The voice of closing the door and the bariach, איך אמרת?
Lock.
Lock, and the lock, and we go. It was just night. We was about, not too much, about 6 hours. The train go, and we arrived to Auschwitz. Everybody looked, there was written Auschwitz from the, so everybody stands, take the package, and we can heard how the wagon, first wagon is open, and the people is going. After that, the chick was the bariach,
The lock.
the lock, and then the door. Till today, I exactly remember the voice. And we also could see listen, the people just are going out and are talking. And it's come nearer and nearer to us. And by the neighbor wagon was open, and then we also heard exactly what the people are talking and going out and so. And then nothing happened. All the people that was in the transport, we can heard that are going and disappeared. And we stand in the wagons. It was in the wagon, it was a silence. But you do not know what it means, a silence. A heavy silence. Nobody knows what is going. What will be with us? What will be with us? So it was about 3-4 hours, and we just, it was a little maybe that we are safe. Maybe. Pray. And the people pray. Silent, but they pray. After 3-4 hours, tutu, we heard the locomotive, we heard the galgalim.
The wheels.
The wheels are moving and we are going. 2 wagons. It was about almost 1 day, and we arrived to Theresienstadt. As they opened the door, we jumped out because we know that maybe that they will send us back. So we jumped out. There was a special room for the people that went to Theresien and was assembled there to like them, who come, and so on. The registration. Suddenly come 3 big and strong nurses and take the children. No, it's not, that is impossible. We was about 9 boys and children. And the mothers are crying, and they fighting with this big woman. I don't know, with force, really force, they separate us from the mothers. And then we are going, and one of them,
Screamed.
Eh?
Screamed.
What do you want? They are going to make a touche. This was the fire, because everybody knows that from the touche in Auschwitz,
The shower.
is
Yes.
and it was scandal. And my mother, I catch her hands and with force that I don't know why it was like that. And we enter to a room, close the door, and they was for touche. And then we heard and come water, warm water. So we really make a touche. The mothers outside heard the water, so suddenly was silence. And we go out. There was towels, soap, that was so, and we come out, and we was going to the Kinderheim. Kinderheim, it was the house from the children. We entered there. Everybody, there was, the beds was 3 stores, yeah? We slept on, I was in the second one. And we was together, boys and girls. And the main problem was that somebody, I do not know who, decided to make a theater. The children will make a theater. מחזה.
Play.
איך?
Play.
Play. The play name, you will laugh, Beatles. In Czechish, Broczki. I was one of the Beatles. And it was it was November, December, January, it was the middle of the winter. And it was very cool, very cool. And we waited there together with the clothes of the play, not our hot clothes. With the play, it was nothing. I have something like really, and we go together and we make the show. It was a show. This was one thing. The second thing, the second job, it was quite possible to run out. Officially, it was closed. But you know, it's possible to run out. And we was hungry all the time. And we come to the kitchen and waited that they will throw something small. For example, קליפות של תפוחי אדמה.
Potato peels.
מה?
Potato peels.
Potatoes.
Peels.
Peel. Potatoes peel. We eat this. This was the second job. One day, they come to us, give us white chulza, white shirt. Children go out to the garden. There was a garden there. And play in the garden, run, and what do you want to do? But noisy. It must be noisy. Okay, we take this white shirt, we go out, and it was a miracle. Near our house, near our Kinderheim, was פתאום a shop with cakes, a round cake with marmelada in the middle. I remember how it was. No, we wanted to enter to the shop, of course. No, it is closed. So we come to the park, and we play, and פתאום suddenly come 3 or 4 beautiful, black, clean cars, Mercedes, Rolls-Royce, the best car that is possible. They come over us and disappear. It was the Red Cross. They wanted to see how beautiful life is in Theresienstadt. Meanwhile, that was suddenly the, not door, the sha'ar.
Gate.
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 The gate was open and enter, I do not know exactly how much, about 100 maybe. People, horrible, and they cry, and it was the Tzadat
A
Mavet.
death march.
Ma?
Death march.
The death march. They went from Sereď to Theresienstadt, and in between them, my father. I didn't recognize him. My mother, he recognized him. No, they live together. So, sorry, I'm really sorry. He see him and put him to the hospital for 3 days to make it better to there. And so we three was together, father, mother, and I. There was one thing that every time when I'm talking about it, I do not know if tell this or not tell this. So I will tell you. In Theresienstadt, das war eine kleine Festung. It was a small prison, and in the prison were, as we know, Russian officer, Russian
Officers.
officer, no?
Officers.
Officer, Russian officers, in a horrible condition that we heard about it. We did not know, but sometimes somebody tell us that he sees them. And suddenly they take them and shoot on them or hang them. And we as little boy come to see it. I do not know why we did it. Really, I do not know. But we go to see this. How today it is impossible to believe it, but it happened. Then the time was over, and it was a flexifus epidemic. The people that come, the death that
March.
they was ill, and it was a flexifus that people was lying on the street dead. And there was no who will do, so we children, we sometimes take them to a place that today it is the cemetery. So one day, after we saw a Hevhekim from light.
Flashlight.
Huh?
Flashlight.
Flashlight from light. And there was so choo-choo-choo-choo. They are coming. They are coming. We just know that Auschwitz was out from them.
Liberated.
Huh?
Liberated.
Yeah. They are coming. After that, we heard the totach. The
Cannon.
Eh?
Cannon. Cannon.
Cannon.
לא, לא נורא.
Totach.
Cannon.
That sheath, yeah. We could hear. And there come a morning, I remember it as today. We heard a noise that we didn't know what it is. We looked and we see the tanks from Russia. The people was crazy. They jumped on the tank. They put out the soldiers from the tank to kiss them, to לחבק אותם.
Hug.
איך?
לחבק hug.
Like this. This was something that you cannot see every time. The soldiers didn't know what is going here, how they are so, and they threw to us every piece of food that they have. They have not too much, but not crab they have. And they and threw it to us, and they over. The SS disappear. The nurse, the strong nurse, German nurse, disappear. And we was free. Come to home. Okay, so this is the story.
וואו.
No?
זהו?
היה בסדר.
היה מצוין.
How long did you stay in Czechoslovakia, and when did you come to Israel?
When we was free, take the children to Schweiz, to Switzerland. My parents immediately come back to Žilina, to their house. And we go to a tram, to a railway, just normal, not for... and we come to a town in Schweiz named Schaffhaus, and you know where it is? In the border. And they make a horrible mistake. They open the doors, and we go out, and in the end of the, you know what I mean, was a kiosk. And we see there chocolate and marzipan, you know, and sukariot,
Candy.
candies. What can I tell you? We jumped on the straw. I take a pineapple from marzipan, very nice. So 5 minutes, it was empty. And come policemen and didn't say nothing. Only push them, come back to the train, that will not be more damage. So that my parents immediately come back, and I, about 3 months after that, I come from Switzerland.
And when did you make Aliyah to
מה?
Israel?
מה?
מתי עלית לארץ ומדוע?
חבר'ה, זה כבר לא הולוקוסט, מה?
ולא רק הולוקוסט.
לא רק הולוקוסט. אוקיי, you have patience. When you come back, you have to know from a class about 42 boys and girls, Jewish, come back 12. And from these 12, only 3 of us was in camps. The antisemitism continue. That not was our town. Why you come back? And what are you doing here? And so and so. And one was idea to play football Jews against the Goys. Where? In the street. There was the play. The play began, and Rutko, now he's living in Haifa, make a goal to them. Oh, then begin makot. You know what I mean?
Fighting.
They beat them up.
We come home with blood on the nose.
Oh no.
So in this condition, come from Israel, Kfar Maccabi, Shaliach, and they come to us, to the children, not only in Žilina, on all the Slovakia. Come to Israel. This is your home. No blood in north and no. So every 12, every 11 come with a group to Israel. My father had a shop, open a shop, that, you know, after war, it is prosperity, economic prosperity. So the shop ran very well. Another thing, the Shaliach from Kfar Maccabi bring a film, a movie, from Eretz Israel to the community of Jews that will see where they are going. Karul, they call it Haaretz Hazot. This is the land. And what was in this? There was the Chalutzim in Kfar, in Negev, with dirty shirts, with hands are, what? This country we will go? You know, there was mistakes. My mother, what? I have here a river, and I will stay here. I need to go to make water from. So it come till my father, till come to my, the boys go and I stay there. You will not go. I was alone between the boys. It's a very hard time. And then come to my help Joseph Stalin. You heard about him sometimes? Come the communistic regime, and they take from my father the store. It becomes store from the national, Narodny Podnik. You know, so, okay. You won't go to Israel? Go to Israel. We will come after you about 6 months that we will make the things, you know. And I wait to Israel. I come to Israel. If you have sablanut, I will tell you, before that I come, my parents take a big luggage and come a man from the party, communistic party, to see what we put to the baggage. I have till today, Svrshki, if you want, I can show you once. 2 pijamot, מחק, איך זה?
Erase.
1 pyjama. 3 parts of shoes, only 2 parts. Look how it worked. Okay, so I come alone to Israel through Constanza with Transylvania, ship Transylvania. And I come to Haifa with Slovak people, but they go, I was alone. And I was with my package on the dock. And wait, something will happen, no? I sit on this baggage about some hours, and suddenly come a man with a pickup car. Yell at boy, I was 14. What are you doing here? Ich bin gekommen to Israel. I come to Israel. He understands. Come and take me to Machane Olim.
An immigration camp.
כן. Kiryat Shmuel near Kiryat Bialik, if you know. And I come to the manager and I told him that I won't go to Dgania. In Dgania they are my friends, and I come to Israel for the friends. Okay, I will see what is possible to do. Next day he come to me. You cannot go to Dgania. They just know Hebrew and they are just in school and you must go from beginning. You have to beginning. I told you, you know what? I will stay here till I am going to Dgania. Okay, tell me, okay. And I was there a month. And then come to me from Slovakia. He was elder from us. Okay, I am going to tell you to your friends from Žilina. And we enter to a bus. And we go and go and go with the bus till we arrive to that you can see a kibbutz. And he told me, okay, so go out and go to the kibbutz. They are just waiting for you. Okay. I take the baggage very heavy. And I see men are who על עצים, הוא גזם עצים.
He was a woodcutter.
מה?
A woodcutter.
כן. Woodcutter. Woodcutter. He work on wood. Work. And I asked him, where can I go, how I can go to see the Slovakian, not Slovakia. No, the boys just come from Slovakia. There are here no boys from Slovakia. Excuse me, please, where I am? In Kiryat Anavim. So this was my first touch in Israel. So now you know everything.
And any other questions?
זה רעיון טוב.
Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for sharing your story. We all know that hearing the testimony of survivors is so precious because unfortunately there will be fewer among us, and the next generation might never even hear a live testimony. So I would just love to hear from you. What is your message? Like after all of these years that have passed and you sharing your story, have you been back to where you came from? And what is your message for us, but of course for the next generation that might not have the honor of hearing you in person?
רגע, היא שואלת משהו?
היא שאלה, האם חזרת לכפר בו נולדת, או מה המסר שלך לדור שלנו ולדורות הבאים?
The message is don't forget the Holocaust. There are not much people that can remember what happened there, and you have to, in your minds. That is the main reason that I am here. I don't like to talk about it, but I am doing it because I know that I have to do it.
And did you ever go, have you been back to Slovakia? Have you been back to your home village since you left?
אם הייתי,
חזרת לסלובקיה, לכפר?
כן, אני הייתי with my children. I wanted to show them the Žilina, the town. This is a beautiful town. Yeah, what I forgot, I'm not so sure that it is so important, but from 22, we have to wear this. This was mine, so. No? No.
Not sure
Yeah.
it's so important, huh? Yes, Jordana, you can pass the microphone.
It's a quick one. Did you see your friends eventually? The Slovakian friends.
What?
Did you see your friends, Slovakian friends, later on?
Now you are stand on my small, from my leg. Only Rudo one. Everyone is not just here. They are not here. Before half year, the last boy passed over. Platzner, Tommy Platzner. Yeah, no, here. I am 95 years old. It is very, very sad. We make every year a meeting, every day, every year. Now they are not who we need.
I think that will have been the last question. Mr. Auerbach, thank you so much for honoring us and sharing your story.
It's my,
And I think you've earned that whiskey now. You've earned that whiskey now.
עכשיו אני אשתה.